Hey, what's up? This is George for Title at inflation.us. Big news, guys. The government is going ahead and they're spending trillions of dollars. They've just passed the public options. It goes to the Senate now. So apparently we believe that we can spend trillions of dollars on this economy and for it not to affect the dollar. Has anyone taken a look at the dollar today? Take a look at the sidebar. If you want to see what's really happening, Carl Denninger explains it really perfectly. I wish this guy would come out with a video. But right now, the US dollar is being used in a carry trade situation, much like the yen was. It's been dropped against 12 of its 16 currency counterparts. The IMF is coming out and saying that the US dollar is being used for a carry trade. And Bernanke is keeping interest rates super low. That means the US dollar is cheap, cheap, cheap. So what are you gonna do? Let's borrow US dollars and buy a bunch of mean in the long run. It means everything you intuitively believe. China, Russia, Brazil, India, all of Asia is going to rule the world, and what's happening in the United States, we're being left behind. And what does that mean for you in the coming year? We're talking $150 oil. We're talking $6 in gasoline per gallon. We're talking about heating oil at $7 to $8. Remember, guys, your stock market doesn't have to go down. All it has to happen is your costs just have to increase 2 times for you to lose half your money. So you go to the grocery store and you buy some bread and it's doubled in price. You go to the gasoline station and it's $6 a gallon instead of $3 a gallon. Well, guess what happened? You just lost half the money in your bank. And if you were making, I don't know, $500 or $600 a week, now you're making $250, $300. Isn't this great? It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt civil servants. You guys think you're doing great now? All you people in the military, all you people in working for government agencies, the rest of us in the private sector have been laid off and beat down. You guys are sitting pretty. Well, guess what happens when there's a currency crisis? You guys are left hanging in the wind because you know those little checks that you get every paycheck, they end up meaning nothing because you can't buy anything with them. But the sad thing to say is, you know who's going to be hurt the most? It's not the civil servants, it's not the people working for the military, it's the little old ladies that are waiting for their social security checks, and maybe they have $100,000 or $50,000 in the bank that they've worked all their lives. Guess what happens to all that money? Poof! It just goes away. Just disappears. Warren Buffett decides he wants to buy one of the biggest railroads in the country. Weird! Why would railroads be a growth industry or something Warren Buffett? Well, let's see. If gasoline hits $6 a gallon, what do you think happens to the trucking industry? Well, let me see. Everybody working in the truck industry is getting laid off anyways. Maybe there will be no more trucks. Maybe Warren Buffett is buying the railroads because that's the only way we're gonna get around, is railroad cars. Isn't that great? In fact, maybe some of us will be so poor the government will put us on railroad cars and send us off to wonderful camps where they'll take care of us because we're too damn broke to take care of ourselves. Suburbia, the American dream. Everybody commuting to work for 30 minutes or an hour or even maybe an hour and a half every day. Well, bye-bye. Those areas will be called dead zones because it'll be too expensive to commute to your jobs. So what will happen? Some of the things we've already been seeing here in Southern California. $330,000 houses are now going for $39,000, $49,000, $59,000. Maybe there'll be a point where a suburban house won't be worth anything at all except for maybe the copper and the aluminum and maybe the scrap that you can take from it when you destroy it by hand when you're pushing around your shopping cart. So everybody, take out that paper that you got in your pocket and spend, spend, spend. That's what our government wants us to do.